Hello, this is C. Norman Hawker. I am the author and publisher of 2timothy415.com, as well as the author and speaker on the podcast 2 Timothy 415. I am coming to you now with using my own voice to do this podcast to add a little bit to what I wrote earlier on my blog at 2 Timothy 415, dealing with light and dark matter. The title of the article is Light Matter, Dark Matter, the First and Fourth Days of Creation. In that article, I've written that many secularists believe that the event was called the Big Bang, and the creationists say that God spoke the universe into existence, or all of creation into existence. I'm lean more towards the God spoke all of reality. That includes any aspect of somebody trying to create or invent any other explanation as far as what is it called again? The multiverse, or thought, or dream, or any other type of reasoning how to discount God's existence. So I personally believe God spoke all of reality into existence. That's all time, space, and matter, and every other concept that a person could even dream of trying to dismiss God. So that's me personally. That's somebody else you can challenge me on that, but to be honest with you, when God said, when Scripture says in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, as far as I'm concerned, that's all of reality, because our thoughts are captivated by Him. He knows us intimately, everything about us. So, in my article, I say that the Christian believes that God spoke things from the beginning, and that the Christian account is the best account, in that when secularists try to discount God's working in the creation, they prove God's creation of reality. My working theory is, as I've written, I'm going to try to keep to the written, what I wrote down here is like, my theory is that the sun and stars are made up of condensed light matter or energy, and that the earth, planets, and stars are suspended in a fluidic dark matter or dark energy matrix. The reason why this is a plausible theory is that there are two videos that I've linked to in my blog, in that they prove that light is a form of energy, and we know that when light is condensed, it forms a laser, which is basically a form of physical matter. It's able to cut through things. The sun, for example, produces light. Well, how does it produce that light? How does it burn? If it's supposedly in a vacuum, then it should not be able to produce that type of energy. So it's producing light energy through using however we define what the sun's created from, but it's a matter. It's basically fluid, hydrogen, helium, or whatever mix that is. The video goes into detail of, if you ever research what the sun's made from or created from, it's basically solid matter. Well, it's a liquid matter, plausibly a solid core. We're not sure what the core looks like, but it's they make a lot of hypotheses, a lot of guess, and a lot of beliefs on what it's made from. But my working theory is this, in that it continues. It says that it gives the accounts of the elements, of where the elements of the first day of creation went. God rested on the seventh day, but where did the light light and darkness go from the first day? Again, my working theory is that on the first day God created light, matter and energy, and created dark matter and energy. These two put together explain the void that the greater light and the lesser light and all the stars were placed in. That we should be able to, it's basically explained in the video that that dark matter and dark energy exists, and it's prevalent throughout our universe. Throughout the creation, it's more dark than there is light. Light's, there's infinite amount of stars, but there's also infinite amount of space between those stars. There's gaps between our galaxies, and it's called dark. They're voids, basically. And so, as we're looking at the expanse that this universe is, what fills in the gaps where the stars that are sprinkled out, where the planets are sprinkled out? There are these voids. You have asteroids that are flying through. Now, if we were to say that space is a vacuum, well, try putting molten lava in a vacuum. There is no air. It'll snuff out. So how does the sun continue to burn then? How do the stars continue to burn? Well, it is my working theory that it is light matter condensed in a fluidic substance known as dark matter that it's suspended in. And I give an example of a submarine being buoyant in water, in that if it takes on water, it takes on too much, it sinks and the pressure collapses it. If it has too little, it bounces back to it surfaces. And so, in order for it to be what it is, it must keep a balance. The universe is at perfect balance. The sun is where it needs to be. The other stars are where they need to be. The planets, the moon, everything is where it needs to be, suspended in this fluidic matter known as dark matter. And thus, it explains where light and darkness come from prior to the creation of the sun and moon, or the greater and lesser light. And the scripture says that it is the greater light, the lesser light, and the stars. So, to read it to be exact, it says in verse 16 of chapter 1, "And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars." So, again, my working theory is that the light that was created is a form of matter that was condensed to form all the stars, including our sun. Well, I don't know why we separate the sun, but the sun and stars are a condensed light. Therefore, they burn continuously because they produce energy, light energy. And the darkness that is out there is separated. And you notice how the sun and the stars glow, opposing the darkness of the void. So, again, it's a working theory that we're suspended in dark matter. And we're floating and suspending like a buoyancy of a submarine. Now, I got a lot of this information from a YouTube channel by the name of Kurzgesagt. I'm going to spell it because I don't think I pronounced it well. Kurzgesagt. Dash in a nutshell is the name of the link. And it's titled, "What is Light?" And so that's where I got my information about light. It's not that it's not a strictly hardcore scientific Einsteinian end-all be-all, but it is a good explanation on what light is: waves, particles, the different facets of light energy, including the spectrums. And I link to the YouTube channel on my webpage. And also where I get the dark matter, dark energy from, is also from the same YouTube channel. Well, I say, yeah, same channel, different address, but it's called What is Dark Matter and Dark Energy? And it gives a great explanation on the vast amount of dark energy and dark matter that exists in the universe in perspective to where everything else exists. And so, it's a working theory. It's probable, it's extremely probable that that's what happened to, it's probable how light energy, light matter, where it went to after the creation. And it gives a great plausibility onto how on the fourth day, God created the lesser light and the greater light and the stars, where that light went, and how it is possible that light can be present prior to the creation of the sun and stars. I don't know why it is we keep separating sun and stars, but the greater light and the stars. That's how Scripture has it. So, it's a plausible working theory. If anybody has any questions, contact me at 2 Timothy 4:15 at protonmail.com, and I'll be glad to speak with you about it. If you would, consider. I'm trying to work on sponsorships, that type of thing. If anybody knows how to properly monetize sites and do things of that nature, I'd be greatly appreciative of that. I am new into the ministries of this type. We're thinking through the Scripture, discussing the Scripture, willing to, go deeper into territories that, instead of it being a cardboard cutout where everybody hears the exact same thing, where things are just left out as a mystery, to think through those mysteries. I don't know about you, but I find it rather interesting how many pastors and seminaries would leave a lot on the table when it comes to explaining certain things. This is part one of, I'm not sure how many there's going to be, but right now this is on how it is plausible that the sun and that there was light and darkness prior to the creation of the sun and the stars. And it's just, it's a plausible explanation. There's many people trying to just to tear apart the Scripture. Dr. William Lane Craig, there's in A Reasonable Faith, one of his articles that he wrote says that he compares the Old Testament to the basically to the Iliad and the Odyssey. It's myth and folklore. To be honest, there are similarities to the way in which Homer wrote these two stories. However, I never will hold to the stance that in any form or fashion that Scripture is a work of myth or folklore. So, again, if any of you know how to assist me in setting up or monetizing my accounts, I would be greatly appreciative of that. Again, I can be reached at 2 Timothy 4:15 at protonmail.com. Any assistance that you can give would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, and God bless.